back to hands-on equations. This is part 3 where we're going to learn another rule that really helps kids make sense of how to do this algebra. And I'm showing you the worksheet here because in this part the setup includes subtracting like terms, but I wouldn't use that phrase with kids quite yet because all they know is they're laying down 4 pawns, 4x, and then they're immediately removing 2 of those pawns. Or you could have the kid learn to set the whole thing up and then to begin with remove 2 pawns. That would be combining like terms. So let me show you what I mean. So here are my 4x's on one side and the number 4. And the other side it calls for 1x and the number 10. So then immediately I can take 2 x's off, so they're gone. And now I'm going to move this paper out of the way and continue to build on what we've already learned, where now we know we can remove the same thing off both sides and it's a balance. So you can remove either the pawns first or the number first, which is good to give kids that flexibility. Some kids will want to remove a pawn off both sides immediately, which is good. But some kids will want to take the 4 off of both sides. So 4 will become 0, but 10 will become 6. It doesn't matter which way you do it. And that carries through all of algebra. So now I will also take off those 2 pawns. And I'm left with pawn plus 0 equals 6. So I'll write that down as x equals 6. And let's see if that's actually what it equals. So here's the original equation again. 4x minus 2x plus 4 equals x plus 10. And I've already done the taking 2 x's off. So we'll just plug in 6 and see if it matches. So 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 4 is 16. So this side is 16. And then over here, 6 plus 10 is 16. That equals each other. So that is like the check. So I put a little check mark above, and that's what you could put on the worksheet right here. 16 equals 16, and x equals 6. This will be our last problem for this video, and I wrote it up here in whiteboard marker, and I also wrote it showing it to you on the worksheet. So x plus 2x minus x plus 7 equals 4x minus x plus 2. I'm going to remove the worksheet now so we can just focus on using the hands-on equation math. So I'm going to build it, or have your kid of course build it. I'm going to put on the x plus 2x's more. I'm going to ignore that for a moment and just put the 7 on as well. And on this side it's 4x minus x plus 2, so I'll put on those 4x's and then the plus 2. And now I will immediately take off an x, gone, and take off an x, gone. And so I could rewrite this as 2x plus 7 equals 3x plus 2. And now what can I remove from both sides? It's a balance, so kids can either say, oh, I can take off 2 pawns from both sides, boom, boom. Now they're left with 7 equals a pawn plus 2. So again, it doesn't really matter how they notate this. At first, when they're young, they just need to know that they should keep track, but they don't have to on paper and pencil. So now I've got 2 pawn and 7. Well, remember, same thing off both sides. If the rule is I can remove a certain amount from both sides, I can take 2 off. So this 2 becomes 0, and this 7 becomes a 5. So I've subtracted 2 off both sides. So now x equals 5. And I'll just remove that 0. So that seems like the whole thing has been in balance the whole time. Let's just double check by doing the check, and then we will see you in the next video. So here I've rebuilt the original equations, but already subtracted off. So there were 3 x's up here, I took 1 off, now there are 2. Here there were 4 x's, I took 1 off, now there are 3. So at this point I'm plugging back in the 5. So 5 plus 5 plus 7 is 10 plus 7, that's 17. on this side, and then here I've got 3 5, which is 15, plus 2, which is 17 on this side. So the check works out. 17 equals 17. And your kids can start doing these kinds of equations within an hour or two of starting this program. That's how powerful it is. But really importantly is how they know they can combine x's, pawns, but 7 has nothing to do with those x's. And that's a critical piece of learning. So please subscribe and follow. And this is the rule that we learned today. Removing pawns is like subtracting like terms. It's part of the setup.